We are here at the Morningstar Investment Conference in London, and with me is Monica Calais, our Head of Passive Strategies Research at Morningstar. Monica has just been on a panel about active and passive investing. Monica, thank you for joining. I want to start with a question about the polling question you asked your audience. You asked whether they hold mostly active or passive funds, and 63% of our audience said that they hold active only or predominantly active funds. Are you surprised by that?
I wasn't surprised by that because that aligns with the data that we're seeing in our model portfolios on our platform. However, I am a little bit disappointed, I have to say. In Europe, assets are predominantly in active funds. We follow a 75-25% split. In the US, it's a little bit more balanced at 50-50. I think at 75-25%, we're not really hitting the sweet spot, so I'm hoping that investors adopt passive investing.
Now, the panel was it ended on the consensus that it's not so much active versus passive, but active and passive. Can you talk to me about what an effective blend of these two strategies would be?
Absolutely. We're moving away from the active versus passive. They're not adversaries, they're allies now in a portfolio. How we see advisors using low-cost passive funds is as their core building blocks in a portfolio, and then orbiting around the core, you've got the satellite. So those allocations are more safe for like niche products, slightly more unique products, things like that. So it's really a conversation about blending both in a portfolio rather than one or the other.
Okay. Now the last question I want to ask is for the investor who has a higher risk profile, want to have more aggressive portfolio. What would you say would be suited for them?
We all want high returns, don't we? But we have to be realistic. And what we see in our active passive barometer study is that active management is a very difficult game. Last year, only 30% of active equity managers were able to both survive and outperform their passive peers. And so with this data, I think, I'm not saying stay away from funds that promise very high returns, but do your due diligence, and then if you do allocate to more niche funds, then make sure to diversify.
Well, thank you very much for being here. For Morningstar, I'm Sunniva Kolostiak.